Hey guys, welcome back again. Yes, again. He's lost his mind. Just one after the other, knocking him out of the park. I guess when it rains, it pours. That's all I can say. This is Axis and Allies D-Day. Um, Pretty much everybody should be familiar with the Axis and Allies series. Started with the whole grand strategic global game. Then I think they did a I'm gonna get the order messed up, but then they did a Europe one, a Pacific one. They also did focused on a couple of specific battles in particular, two of which include Battle of the Bulge and this, which is Axis and Allies D-Day. Now, of all of those that I've played, I have found this one to be the most enjoyable. um, I should also add that sometimes, a steak dinner and eating your vegetables and salad is good, but sometimes you just want a Snickers bar, and this is your Snickers bar. There's nothing taxing or overly complicated, as I said in the past in reference to certain games. This is one of those games. It's easy. This would be one of those games that if you have an uncle that has always kind of been curious about what it is that you do when it comes to war games, but he's never done it himself. Maybe you bust this out, you set it up, and you walk Uncle through the game to give him kind of a feel for a little bit of the flavor of what you do. This is that type of game, right? What else should I say about this game? Can I say about this game? As usual, will not be playing this game the way you're supposed to play it. Why would you do that? Because I'm a Fruit Loop. What I will be using is this. This is the rules for John Butterfield's Battle of the Bulge, which was used for, it's what became a game that was developed for iPhone, the iOS system. And this was also eventually released in official board game format, this Battle of the Bulge thing, recently. But I've talked about this in the past. Anyway, I'm using some of the rules from this, but the bulk of the rules will remain untouched for this game here. Namely, the combat system is what I tweaked to try and make it a little more, I don't know, put a little more meat on the bone, perhaps, is one way to look at it. I haven't tried this yet, this tweaking that I'm going to do, so it could prove interesting, it could prove failure. I guess we'll find out. So the setup here is, as expected, all the territory that you need to concern yourself with in regards to an invasion of France. You've got your British waiting to come ashore. You've got your Americans waiting to come ashore. And if you'll notice, you already have some Americans inland. Those would be your paratroopers, correct. Germans sparsely spread out, trying to do their best to defend the shoreline, not knowing exactly where the Allies will strike. So that's what you're looking at there. Victory for this thing, Allies need to take Caen, Saint-Lô, and Cherbourg, and boom, they win. If the Axis can prevent that within 10 turns, then they win. Now, there's a couple cool things going on here, right? One of those is your reinforcements kind of vary. It's a variable type thing. You roll, I forget, 1d6, 2d6, and the result is from left to right, work your way down, what you will get on board for the next turn, reinforcements-wise. Speaking of which, I don't think there's any reinforcements. I need to double check this. That come on turn 1. It should just be turn 2. Reinforcements interplay. No unit can interplay. Yeah, that's going to be the way we do it. And then you have, of course, reinforcements for the United Kingdom, and then you have your Germany reinforcements. And I have to say, you probably can't see this, but trust me, moving things on camera or moving the cameras is you're asking for trouble, so I'm reluctant to do so. But there's what you see here is the American reinforcements. the UK reinforcements, and then over here is the German reinforcements, and it's basically a sheet just like one of the Allied powers would have, stock full of German stuff. And it is, I think, perhaps the designers, the developers may have been a little too gratuitous with their amount of reinforcements the Germans get. Not sure on that, but that's the feeling I get. And I get it, right? I understand. This thing is by no means historically accurate. It's not a simulation. That is probably the least of this game's problems. Another one would be, you'll notice the map, there's no terrain anywhere. So you have no terrain modifiers in this thing. What else? Bridges would be something that might be of concern in any D-Day game. There's nothing to do with bridges in this game. What else? Weather does not play a role in this game. And strangely enough, and I think they could at least pull this off, there's no elite units. Now, why would I mention that? Because I think you could really spice the game up if you, and I suppose I could house rule this, right? But it's just a little more legwork than I was willing to put into it. Determine, and because, here's why. On this reinforcement charts, it does actually list, and I'll give them credit for this, the game does actually list the corps or division by name of the reinforcing units. So for instance, you have your 11th Armored Division here, which is very cool. Now you could go and determine what among those are elite, mark them as such, and then you would have like a certain die roll or modifier that you would use in combat. Not the end of the world, but you know, that would be something I would have liked to have seen in this game. Again, there's a lot of things probably, and you know, it goes without saying, if I want more, then why am I playing this? So again, I understand there's other and better games for more flavor, for more detail, for a more historical accurate simulation. I understand all that, so we'll let it ride. Again, this is a great game for beginners or somebody that is just starting out. And it's fun to play, even for someone like me who has played a number of things. Just because this is something that you can get at, say, Barnes & Noble, or at least at one time you could, you know, doesn't make it a bad game. It's actually a fun game to play. So, that said, we do have, let's see, a sequence of play. Our sequence of play is broken down in the rule book. So, but additionally, we have cards, and I'm not one to be much in favor of cards. I'll use them if I'm in the right mood and it's the right day of the week and all that. But I've allowed for these cards because essentially all these cards is an order of play or sequence of play. So it just helps organize and helps you keep track of things easier. So I'll allow for that. This game does come with tactics cards and fate cards to add spice to the game, and here's where I contradict myself, having just complained about not enough spiciness or flavor in the game. Why wouldn't I use those? Again, I'm a strange guy. I will also add before I start, and this is for you, Almo, I did hear you as far as zooming in, but you have to understand, the more I zoom in for closer up detail, the less of the map you see. Now I suppose, again, as I'm doing things, I could move the camera where it's needed, but again, I'm reluctant to do so. You're just asking for trouble, and I have enough to keep up track of with running all this stuff without moving cameras and things, so I'm not doing it. But I did hear you, Almo, and bearing that in mind, but again, I want to get everything in frame, so I mean, that's about as good as we're going to get, so I guess I owe you. The usual pausing to check things and verify things will be taking place. That's no skin off your teeth, though, right? Because it only takes less than a second. What do we got here? So we have the Allies do their airborne assault. For the card, it says roll 1 die for each infantry in the airborne boxes. A roll of 1 is a hit, but we're not playing it like that. Blockhouses cannot be chosen as casualties. Okay. And oh, I should probably clarify what blockhouses are. These are the big concrete structures that enclose major artillery pieces, things of that nature, that were used for I don't know, counter battery fire against naval ships that are bombarding, things of that nature. So they do play a role. They're dotted all along the coastline, as one would expect. But if we're going to do our airborne units, what does it list who these guys are? Yeah, 82nd Airborne here and the 101st here. Let's start with the 101st against this unit there. And that would be 3d10 because that's how we're doing it. Attacker, +1 if artillery is adjacent. These are my rules. There's no adjacent artillery, that is to say German artillery, to this area. So that will not be in play. Why doesn't he have... I just noticed something here. He needs an artillery piece there with him. Do I have that? Yes, I do. Setting up shouldn't be difficult, but apparently it is. Alright. Now. So how does artillery work in a defensive nature? Based on my rules? No, it doesn't. So let's roll 3 dice for the... Again, this is 101st Airborne. What we want is, we would want a 1, a 2, or a 3, but if we look at our modifiers, Defender is not isolated or out of supply. Let's see. There's no armor included in the Defender. And again, I'd like to do the elite thing, and I suppose I could at least act like these guys are elite, but again, there's a way you need to track that, and I haven't done so we'll let it ride. So as far as modifiers, I don't think we have anything going here. I'm going to go ahead and roll, take that back, at least for now. I'm going to go ahead and roll as these guys being elite. So instead of 1, it'll be 1 to 3 still, and we'll just do -1 to the die roll. So we got 1 hit, so let's say this is gone, but he can fire back, can he not? Now when we get those hits, we're going to determine if this German unit's possibly retreat, but I need to determine if they fire back before they retreat, so we'll come back. Okay, so here's what's up. This is like considered a surprise attack type deal. So as similar to like Battle of the Bulge, where the Germans would get a bonus surprise attack at the beginning, this is that type of thing. So he's just gone, and then we roll for these guys. Cannot attack blockhouses. 1 to 3, -1 because they're elite. Another hit, so he's gone. And with that, we remove this card as only a one-time use type deal. Brings us to the next card. Roll 6 dice, targeting blockhouses only. A roll of 2 or less is a hit. Well, we're using 10-sided die. And we roll for each blockhouse. So this would be the naval bombardment. 2 or less is a hit, huh? Let me check my math. Alright, 1 to 3 is going to be what we need to roll. So we'll roll for these 2. Looking for 1, nothing there. Let's roll for this one. Got nothing. Let's roll for these 3. Actually, let's roll for those 4. Got 2, so we'll take 1 here, 1 here, and then we roll for these 2. Nothing there. These 2. Nothing there. these two. Nothing there. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Let's go for those. Nothing there. So not very good on the knocking out the block houses. Alright, next card. Place fighters in selected zones. Now we can do this, but you're only allowed up to 4 fighters in a zone, and they don't directly attack. The fighters are used when German units move, so if they move from a zone with a fighter or into a zone with a fighter, the fighters can strafe based on that enemy movement. So I'm going to place one here, one here, 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 and then we got our British fighters here, 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 and here. That's where we'll place our fighters. And then roll 1 die for each artillery in a zone containing fighters. A roll of 1 is a hit. Roll 6 dice targeting. Okay, so we're looking at 1s or 2s here. Any artillery? Yeah, 1 here. So 1 or 2 will be a hit. Nothing there. Got 2 here. 1 or 2s. Nothing. And that brings us to here. Nothing. So no hits on fighters. Then we go to bombers. Place bombers on selected zones. We only have 1 bomber for each nation. That do not contain allies' land units. Roll 1 die for each bomber against a target axis unit. Let's put this one to try to knock out this tank, and this one to try to knock out this tank. And he's rolling what? A roll of 3 or less is a 1 through 5 is what we want on a D10. He misses. How about this guy? He gets it. Tank is gone. Alright, what next? Next order card. Roll 1 die for each artillery in a zone containing bombers. A roll of 1 is a hit. Okay, I shouldn't have done that yet. I jumped the gun there. But I don't have any artillery where the bombers are, so we're still good, because the next order card is going to be bombers attack. Yeah. Roll 1 die for each artillery in a zone containing bombers. These bombers in selected zones do not contain allies. Roll 1 die for each bomber against... Yeah, no, I did that right. So now we put them back, right? Put the bombers back. They go back to their airfields. What's next? Move land units to adjacent zones. Do not move land units from beachhead boxes. And this is the allies that will be moving. Do not move land units from beachhead boxes, but move land units to adjacent zones. Do not move land. Okay, I can do that. Let's move, and let's see. Armor can move 2. Artillery and infantry can only move 1. Let's start heading towards Cherbourg. Or, yeah, no, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's move towards Cherbourg. We'll go 1 here. Ooh. Oh, and there is a stacking limit. It's very lenient, but there is a stacking limit. I think it's 8 land units per side. And that's 8 total for the Allies, or 8 for the Germans. Moved him. Well, let's just move. Seems funny to me that you can move even if you're in a zone with enemy units. Let me check that I can do that. Can I move from a zone in which I'm stacked with an enemy unit? Alright, so I was good on catching that because no, if you're in an enemy zone, in a zone with enemy units, they're considered locked in combat and you can't move. Does that include blockhouses though? I guess, well, it's an enemy unit. So is there any movement I can do? No. So at least now there's not. What's next? Blockhouses now can fire on the beachhead box connected to its zone. Roll 1 die for each blockhouse against a target ally's land unit. A roll of 3 or less is a hit. So 1s through 5s is what we'll need. On these stinking blockhouses, that's awful generous. Awful generous. We'll go ahead and do that. But starting here, 1 to 5. He does not get anything. Next, 1 to 5, another 10. 1 to 5, nothing. So first 3 get nothing. Now we're firing on Omaha Beach. We get 1 hit. Bye-bye. Now we're firing on Gold Beach. We get 2 hits. Not bad, not bad. We'll remove an artillery and infantry. Juno Beach. That's 1 die, not 2. My bad. 1 to 5. He gets a hit. Bye-bye. And now we'll fire on Sword Beach with 3 blockhouses. Looking for 1s through 5s. We got 1 hit. So he's gone. We'll remove that artillery piece. What's next? Blockhouses have fired. Now the allies can land. Move land units from beachhead boxes to adjacent zones. Alright, let's do it. So Utah Beach is going to unload. 1, 2, 3, keeping track of our stacking limits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're good to go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. And I'm sure this is fine. I wouldn't have designed this where you're going to overstack moving off a beachhead box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The British are moving from Gold Beach and Juno Beach is going to unload. I'm going to add that only the British have tanks that move immediately onto the beaches. Juno is unloaded, and finally Sword Beach. Unloads. Puts them awful. I mean, you start off pretty darn close to Caen. I mean, it doesn't take much to bust right into Caen. That's where reinforcements are vital for the Germans. So we've moved land units from beachhead boxes to adjacent zones. What do we do next? A pin task check. No, Jesus God. No pin task checks. Cheers. Sunday night. Let's see. Conduct 1 cycle of combat in each zone, having both allies and Axis land units. Alright. Let's mark. Mnemonic devices. Alright, so these guys are still elite until I lose track of them. 3 dice. They need 1s, 2s, or 3s. Ooh, we have allied, really? Cool. We have allied adjacent artillery. So that's how artillery is going to work in this game. You're not going to actually roll for it. It's going to be a die roll modifier. Deal? Alright, so if artillery is adjacent, that must be for enemy. If the enemy has artillery adjacent, and they do not, so I take that back. Are they isolated? No. Are they out of supply? No. No armor involved. Alright, so just -1. I'm sorry. Just -1 for being elite. So we got 2 hits. Boom. He gets to fire back. He's just 1 to 3. He got nothing. Alright. Next. What are we fighting? The stupid blockhouse? Blockhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we can do this. Yeah, we got it. But he gets to fire back. What does a blockhouse do? Attack, defender, blockhouse. He's going to hit on a 1 or 2. He got nothing. Blockhouse is gone. Next we go here. Look at all this nonsense. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are not elite. The enemy does not have armor. Nobody's isolated. No armor attacking. So it's just 1s, 2s, or 3s. Wow, we get 1 hit out of that. Okay, if you say so. Oh, and they have +1 of enemy artillery adjacent. They have adjacent artillery, so that negates the 1 hit. Not good, not good, not good. Alright, let's roll for the Germans. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for 1s or 3s, no armor involved, etc. We got nothing. So nothing going on there. Let's move to here. They had enemy artillery available, but it didn't matter anyway. Next. British with 4. Okay, now we have armor involved. That's going to be 4 infantry units firing, but... So it'll be 1 to 3. No adjacent enemy artillery. Just want a defender. Nobody's isolated. -1 if defender has armor. No, they don't. We'll roll for the armor. We'll roll for the armor separately. So that's 4 1s, 2s, and 3s, y'all. It's 1 hit. And now we roll for the armor, which is... I have it written down somewhere. Yeah, one unit 1, 2, 3, or 4 for that tank. Nothing. Alright, Germans fire back. 1s or 2s for the stupid blockheads, nothing. And 1s, 2s, or 3s for the 2 infantry, nothing. So he's gone. And then that brings us to here, from where Juno Beach unloaded. 3 infantry. No enemy. Oh, they have adjacent, so +1 for adjacent artillery. We did get a hit though, even with that modifier. Let's take this blockhouse out. That's what would happen. Firing back. No, we got armor. 1, 2, 3, or 4. We got a hit. He's out. Now to fire back, I think I forgot to do this the last time. We're rolling for the infantry, German infantry, for one figure, 1s, 2s, or 3s, right? But the attacker has armor, and the British are the attacker. So that doesn't make sense. Attacker has armor. Attacker includes defender hit chance modifiers. Attacker includes armor, -1. Why does that not make sense? Hold on, I gotta fix this. Okay, so instead of 1 to 3, it would be 1 to 2. He gets nothing. Blockhead, minimum of 1 to 2. He got nothing, so they're just going. Next, we go to this mass of troops at Sword Beach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1s to 3s now. Armor, artillery is adjacent, so that's going to be +1 if enemy artillery is adjacent. Looking for 1s or 3s. Adding 1. This is what happens when you try and modify what you're playing. No surprise. Air power, none. Nobody's isolated, nobody's out of supply. Defender does not include armor. So it's 1 to 3 plus, not +1. That's just 1 to 3, my bad. Look what we get. We got 2 hits. Let's roll 1 more. We got no hits, so that's 2. These blockhouses will qualify for those 2 hits. We still have a tank that needs to fire. He's firing at 1 to 4. 4 to hit. Nothing. And blockhouses fire back. 1s or 2s get nothing. The infantry fires back 1 to 3. -1 because the attacker has armor. That's nothing. So 2 blockhouses down. Our Deadpool here. And that's it. Next order consists of fighters, strafe, Axis, land units moving into, okay, so the Axis can move, but we bear in mind that in doing so they can trigger fighters that are patrolling particular zones. So you have to decide, is it worth moving if you're going to trigger fire and lose units, or staying? I think moving outweighs the benefit of staying and not getting lit up. Although he can stay here, these guys staying here, I can't justify that. So let me make sure I do this correctly. 1s or 2s is what we'll need. He's going to go ahead and move into this zone because they're doing no good there. A 1 or 2 eliminates him. He's fine. He will move here as well as this artillery piece. That's 1 or 2. He's fine. So we're getting lucky on these moves. God, I hate doing this. If he knocks this tank out. But I'm moving. You watch, he's going to knock that tank out. 1 or 2. Oh, he made it. These guys have to move. Just have to. 1s or 2s. Oh my God, they got both of them. Jesus. He's not moving. That brings us here. They're not moving. These have to move. Another one that has to move. they have to. No, you know what? We can do this. 1, 2. Roll for the fighter that's stationed there. He's fine. 1 and 1. We'll do it like that. So we skirt it around him. Now what? Conduct 1 cycle of combat in each zone having both Axis and Allied land units. But this is the Germans as the attacker now. Huh? You see how they did that? You see? So what does that mean? That means, let's consolidate so I can figure out what I'm doing. That means we will have, Nikes. You know, I could have moved him, but that would have been suicide to do so. Let's attack with this tank. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Seems like you can do it. He cannot. They will strike back with 1s, 2s, or 3s. And neither one of them get anything. That's the way the ball bounces sometimes. Here's a big battle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 with armor support. Let's roll 4 dice, 1s, 2s, or 3s. But we have bonus for armor support. That is 2 hits. And then we need to roll for the blockheads. 1s or 2s. Ooh, that blockhead got a hit. And now they fire back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Infantry looking for 1s, 2s, or 3s with artillery support. There's a hit, and 2s or 3s. That's all they get is 1 hit. I'm not got a blockhouse for it. No, it's not got one of these. And now we roll for the 2 blockheads. No, what am I doing here? That's just it. That's all they got, right? I just had a brain blip. Let's do this over again. Sometimes you just gotta... Germans attacking, not Americans. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try this again. Looking for 1s, 2s, or 3s with artillery support. We get 2 hits. That is this and this. And then we rolled for our blockheads. Nothing. Now we roll for the Americans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 4, 6. Looking for 1s, 2s, or 3s with artillery support. Two hits. Knock out these guys, and that's it. I don't know where the confusion came in, but not as hard as it looks. So what else? This guy here. Oh God. Germans first. 1s, 2s, or 3s, but enemy. Let's see. No, just 1s, 2s, or 3s. You got nothing. Blockheads, roll 2 dice for them. They got nothing because they're useless. Now the British fire back with 4 dice. 1s, 2s, or 3s, they get a hit. And they have a tank who can roll 1 die. Looking for 1, 2, 3, or 4 gets nothing, so they lose a blockhead. And my God. We have 1 German against 15,000 British over here. He got nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's gone. Yep, he's out of here. That's the end of that. And I think that's, yeah, that's it. Alright, so that brings us to Allies reinforcements. Roll 2 dice. We have to roll D6 on this. 2 dice for UK and 2 dice for US. Let's start with the US. Nice roll. They get 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. And that says Utah Beach only. So we'll load up Utah Beach or Utah. Is it actually on the beach? Let me check. No, it's a beachhead box, not the beach. So not yet. We'll load up the beachhead box with our 8 units. But this says, there's contradiction here in the rules, because in the rules it says you can place them in either the Utah or Omaha beachhead boxes, but on the reinforcement chart it says Utah Beach only, or sometimes it says any U.S. beach. I'm going with Utah Beach only. And I wonder if there's a stacking limit to the Utah. There could be no stacking limit, because then there'd be no point in rolling more than 8 units. That's how we're doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we roll for I'm going by the rules in the booklet, not on the chart. I'm going to hedge my bet and divide my 8 so that there's 4 in Utah and 4 in Omaha. It says in the booklet of the rules, that's what I'm doing. Not according to that chart. Then we roll for our UK forces. They get 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That pretty much clears the top row. And they have to go sword, Juno, or gold. So basically anywhere they've already started. I'm going right here, obviously, because it's a straight shot from here to Con. Well, it's also straight shot from Juno. So we'll just divide those up as well. Then we roll for our German reinforcements. 6. Ooh, 3 tanks. I like it. 2 infantry and an artillery. Of course, the way I'm using artillery is just as a die roll modifier, as a kind of support thing. Now, Axis player makes 2 reinforcement rolls. 1 for the Rene Chartres sector. Ooh, okay. 1 for the Rene Chartres sector. That's here. So anywhere here, here, or here, I make 2 rolls. 1 for here and then 1 for here. So the here would be like this. We're going right here, so we can just fortify Saint-Lô. And we roll again. 7. 1. Oh, look at all these tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 infantry. And 2 infantry. And we're going to go right here into Yort. That. There we go. There's our reinforcements. What's left? The fighters have to go back. I just did this. Yeah. Ooh, fighters strafe Axis land units reinforcing in zones they patrol. Well, I didn't place any in patrolled zones because I know better. Place fighters back on the airfield. Go back. It's not safe. Go back. Alright, so put those guys back. And our British fighters We have one more hiding somewhere, do we not? Is that it? Where is it? Here it is. That's the end of round 1. Let's do round 2. Now that I've got a little better hang of what's going on here. Round 2. Advance the turn marker. So here's my prediction. Khan's going to fall. Probably. That'll be the first to fall. Then probably Cherbourg. And then Saint-Lô will be the holdout. However, we do have some massive armored divisions moving up to reinforce Cannes Film Festival. Alright, here we go. Roll 6 dice, targeting blockhouses only. Roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, this represents naval bombardment on those fortified German structures. Looking for 1s, 2s, or 3s. And we got 1. And we got 1. Let's go ahead and knock... I should roll individually for each of these, but I didn't. So we'll knock one of those out. Alright. Place fighters in... I just moved them. Just moved them back. They didn't even get time to eat a sandwich or anything. Well, obviously you're going to place 1 here. And 1 here. And 1 here, so they can't skirt around. And 1 here, so now they have to go through patrolled fighter zones. Sorry to be that way, but same deal. They will have to pass through patrolled fighter zones this way. And in here, I guess. What else? Roll 1 die for each artillery in the zone containing fighters. Roll 1 as a hit. With D10, that'd be a roll of 1 or 2. Nothing doing. Oh, we do have 1 here. 1 or 2 and that fighter's gone. No, he's fine. Just kidding. Oh, we have 1 here. 1 die for each artillery, so only 1 roll. Come on. Did you knock out 1 fighter? Oh, bombers do their thing. Bombers on selected zones that do not contain allies. Roll 1 die for each bomber against a target Axis unit. This is just like obviously targeted. Well, let's knock out a tank here and let's knock out a tank here, okay? 1 to 5. Got it. 1 tank gone. And 1 to 5? No, can't do it. Alright. Roll 1 die for each artillery in the zone containing bombers. Oh, there's 1. 1 or 2? Oh, they lost a bomber. The British lost a bomber. What about... no, there's no artillery there. Okay. Tough break for the Brits. Place bombers on airfield. How about place bomber on the airfield? Because they lost 1. Then move land units to adjacent zones. This is the Allies moving. Do not move land units from beachhead boxes. All caps. Okay, fine. They cannot move. They can. However, do I want to move into Cannes yet? I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't move there. They're overstacked. I am moving my first batch of forces into Cannes. What's that? They're locked. They're locked. They're not. They're locked. Let's do this. Here, 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 here. We're moving into Montebourg. Montebourg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think the stacking limits are too generous in this game as well. Is that it? They're locked. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Then we go. A blockhouse can fire on the beachhead box connected to its zone. Did I not do this last time? Yeah, I did. Did I do it right? Probably not. So we have 2 here. 1s or 2s. Actually, it does say 3 or less. Converted to D10 would be 5 or less. Just saying. And when you do it like that, you can knock 2 units out. I'll take it. 2 here. 5 or less. Ooh, another unit knocked out. Sorry, guys. And 1 left. Nothing. Alright, so that brings us to move landings from beachhead boxes to adjacent zones. Okay, we'll do that. Put these guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have to go here. And they have to go here, but 1, 2, 3, 4. It's currently stacked, so can't do it. What else is that? Leave. That leaves. Conduct 1 cycle of combat with the allies attacking. Allies attacking. Let's start here. 3 infantry units versus an armor unit. I am the attacker. Elite. 1s, 2s, or 3s. That's 1 hit. Who fires back? 1, 2, 3, or 4. He does not get it. My God. The Deadpool grows. If you can see this, let me move the Deadpool. See all this? It's our Deadpool. It's growing. Alright, and then we go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with artillery support. And regardless of the number of artillery pieces, I'm just giving units a die roll modifier if there's artillery involved. So 1s, 2s, or 3s. Wow, only 1, 2 hits. 2 hits. So these guys would be cleared out. They get to fire back though with 1, 2, or 3. Nothing. And blockhead. Nothing. So they're gone. I don't think the Germans are doing too well. The old crowd heads. Let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1s, 2s, or 3s. 2 hits. It's our 7th, 8th, 3 hits. Oh, let's go. 1, 2. Maybe I shouldn't do that. 2, 3. We'll do 1 of each. The blockhouses got pretty lucky with those rolls. That's a pretty hefty roll too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Firing back. 3, 4. 1s, 2s, or 3s. We got 1 hit. And oh shoot. Forgot the artillery support. That's how it goes. Blockhead. Nothing. Boom. Rat-a-tat-tat. Here. 4 British units. 1s, 2s, or 3s. Nothing. British tank. Nothing. 1s, 2s, or 3s on that infantry unit. However, -1 because the attacker has armor. Misses it. Blockhead. Nothing. Here, Con. Our first battle in Con. 3. Oh God, -1 because the enemy has. Well, no, it's not true. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Just 1s, 2s, or 3s. 1 hit. And we have 1 armor piece for the British. Nothing. Now the Germans have 2 pieces of armor with artillery support. But it balances out because the enemy attacker has armor. So it's just 1s, 2s, 3s, or 4s. Oh, Jesus. Oop, 2 hits. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Boom, gone. Out of here. Deadpool grows. Doesn't matter. That's it, right? Yes. That was our allied attack. Fighter strafe land. Oh, axis movement. And then fighter strafe. Okay. Here's where it gets fun. Roll 1 die for each fighter per unit that moves. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. Well, who's moving? I'm moving in the sand low. For each fighter per unit, that's 2 dice. 1s or 2s, we're good. Yeah, 1s or 2s, we're good. Nice, our armor units made it. Infantry, good. And infantry, oh, I knocked him out. Artillery, good. Lost 1 unit there. How about we'll move here and consolidate. We'll move here and consolidate. Blockhouses don't move. We'll move here and consolidate, and here. I like it. Let's retreat him here. Remember the fighters, right? Move him here. And I don't know what they're doing here. So we'll move here. These guys have to. I have to roll for those 2 that moved out of here. Nothing and nothing. Now, we've got this massive armor that wants to move here. And they can move 2. So here we go. 1s or 2s. Got him. Nikes. One die for each fighter per unit. 1s or 2s. He's good. Ones or 2s. Jesus, stay in the tray. Oh my God. Got him. And you know what? I should be rolling. He's good, and I should be rolling again because that's 2 zones. He's fine. Let's do it for the other guys. I forgot to do it, and he's fine. 1, 2. Are we overstacked? He's fine. And then this guy can only move 1, but we gotta roll. He's fine, and this guy. He's fine. That's our axis movement. Or is it? Yeah, they're stacked to the max there for the Germans. Now the Axis does their attacks. Nothing here. Nothing here. Something here. Where is this? Axis attacking. Let's see. That's 3 infantry. We have a modifier for artillery. Oh wow, that's nothing. But we did get 2 hits. 1, 2. They fire back with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we have a blockhead. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They want 1s, 2s, or 3s. Look at that. They only got 1 hit. Make that 2 hits. Alright, so they both lost 2 units. And they're still locked in combat. I don't know what the hell's going on here. We have one infantry unit looking for 1, 2, or 3, gets nothing, and a block hit gets nothing. But we have 4 British infantry units, and they get 1 hit. That's it. No, the artillery tank at the blockhouse gets nothing. So he's gone. And then our second battle in Khan, Axis attacks first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks. And artillery support. So that's 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, or 5s. And then we got 3 hits there. So we cleared Khan of UK pests. But they get to fire back, right? So 1, 2s, or 3s, nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, nothing. So that was a German swish right there. And that's it for that. That brings us to Allies reinforcements. Why didn't I get the roll from my... whatever. Roll 2 dice for the United Kingdom. Yeah. 7 U.S. units. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll put 4 here. With our 2 tanks blitzing through. And you know what? Let's really beef it up and add our artillery support. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. What about the UK? 6, so 3 infantry and artillery and 2 armor. Overstacked there, so it's stupid to unload there. So we'll go here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Counting ahead to see if we reach our stacking limit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's fine. And what's next? Roll 2 dice. Okay, yeah, this thing. Here's what I was missing. This is when all this happens. All right. Wow, Germans get 11. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cleared a whole nother row. And these guys are going where? Anywhere in Rene or Chart. Anywhere in Rene or Chart. Let's go here then. 1, 2. Wow, what a hefty sum of reinforcements. Right here. And fighters can strafe 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Some stacked to the limit there, so then I have to go. Well, this sucks. Now I gotta go here, I guess. I'm not going here because then I lose stuff. And roll again for Rowan Shart. Only 5 for Rowan Shart. 3 infantry and 2 artillery is what it amounts to. And, ooh, no, I can just go right here. So, 2 fingers in the air to you. Shart, yeah. Rowan Shart, right? Yeah. Rene Shart, Rowan Shart. And then roll 1 die for each fighter per unit. Reinforces. That didn't happen. All right. So finally, place fighters on airfield. This all just seems. I think this is a useless step. They could have just made the step where instead of placing them back in the airfield every time, you move them, leave them where they are, or move them where you want them instead of going back and forth. But I understand they'd run out of gas, right? They'd run out of fuel if they didn't do this. So, makes sense. UK lost a bomber. How about that? That's the end of round 2. Boom. All right, let's take a look at what we got left going on here. We have roughly half of the U.S. reinforcements on map now. half the UK on map and just about half of the German forces on map. So pretty even there. I thought the UK was going to roll into con, but this lucky reinforcement roll has 5 tanks in there. Got artillery support, and they've got pending infantry support coming. However, there's just as much stuff, if not more, heading this way. So this is a matter of time before con falls. St. Lo looks like it's in a little bit better shape. The Allies seem to be ignoring it for the most part. And they have decent supply of reinforcements heading there. Cherbourg, there's going to be a huge battle there soon. 2 huge battles pending. Caen and Cherbourg. Mostly, it's going to be a big infantry fight. And then, anything else to consider? Not really. I still have a blockhouse that can fire here, a blockhouse that can fire here, here, and here. So the Allies would do good to rid themselves of those things. And that's it. That's all I got. UK did lose a bomber. And our dead pool is again, it's significant. A lot of stuff knocked out. If you look at it this way, it looks like the majority of it is Germans. This has been Axis and Allies D-Day, some junk food wargaming. As if it wasn't simple enough, like usual, I had to change it up and add some of the rule systems from something else to, I don't know. I don't know that it needed it, but I did it. And, yeah, so I don't know I got anything else. Probably cut it here. And I'm pretty sure I will not have this set up for the next video. I'll be moving on to something else. Could possibly be that Grossbeeren thing that I've been sitting on with the Napoleonics, or whatever tickles my fancy that I see in the meantime. Alright, that's it. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.